I've been thinking about the year 2025. Since this is a new year now, I've been thinking about the past year. And, for me, 2025 wasn't so bad, right? I moved, I got a new job, I'm working at a great university. I got a lot of good things going for me. My family's doing well. And, if you were to ask me directly, what did I think about 2025? I'd say, it was a good year. It was nice. But around the world, 2025 was an awful year. Wars, conflicts, all kinds of stuff going on all around the world. And so, 2025, I'm calling it the year of genocide. The year of genocide. That's what 2025 really was. We think globally. It was a year of genocide. There were so many egregious, brutal, genocidal wars happening in 2025 that's hard to ignore. It's hard to just move past it and say, oh, it was a pretty good year. It worked out pretty well for most of us. It didn't. It didn't. And of course, there's a lot of stuff that you see on the news that's very popular, that's very, out in your face. And of course, social media helps to amplify a lot of people's experiences. And so you can see the actual assaults, see the actual bodies being maimed, being brought to the hospital, see the places being bombed. All those things, those images are hard to forget. And so for the next few videos, we're going to talk about the year of genocide, 2025. So many genocides happened last year. Of course, the ones that are on the news, right? So Sudan is still going, genocide. Russia, Ukraine, I guess people are debating it. I'm not debating it. Genocide. Genocide scholars, genocide observers, they know it's a genocide. Gaza, clearly, there's a long list of organizations that say genocide. Genocide, genocide. It's just a matter of when they said it because they're all saying it. It's a genocide. But what about some other places you might not think about? What about Myanmar? What about South Sudan? What about Burkina Faso? What about Haiti? My family's from Haiti. When you think about what's happening in Haiti, the killing, the gang violence, the sexual violence, all the things going on, look, people aren't paying attention, but I would argue it's a genocide there too. And so on and so on. The list goes on and on and on. Genocide marked the year 2025. It marked the last year where a lot of us, especially out here in the Western world, we're having a good time, making money, getting new jobs, careers, going to school, doing all kinds of things to improve our lives, which is great. You should definitely do that. There's no reason not to, but let's not pretend like that's the way the world is. And let's not pretend like the world has always been this way. It hasn't. We don't have to live in a world where people from almost every continent is experiencing some form of genocide, some form of horrific violence, some form of gender-based sexual violence, some form of apartheid and segregation and dehumanization and murder and killing. We don't have to accept that. We don't have to accept it. And so we're going to talk about it more and more. I just want to give this brief little introduction because it's going to get real dark really quickly on this video, on this channel, because of all the horrible things that have been going on. And I don't want you to be blind to it. I don't want you to be oblivious. I don't want you to ignore the plight of so many people around the world who have to deal with these genocides. There's genocides happening all around us, all around the world. And the worst part about it is that many of our governments, mine included here in the United States, funding, supporting, providing cover for, excusing, celebrating even in some cases, these types of genocidal wars. And it's not just the U.S., plenty of countries in Europe, Plenty of countries in the Middle East, complicit, turning away, not interested in doing what it takes to end the violence, to stop the killing. Because let's just be honest, a lot of these countries, a lot of these militia groups, a lot of these organizations that are committing the violence, they don't have the resources to keep up these genocidal efforts. Somebody's paying them. Somebody's providing the weapons. Someone's providing the ammunition. Someone's providing the military vehicles. Someone's providing the money to make these things happen. And as we talk about these different conflicts, these different genocides that happened in 2025, we're calling them out. We're calling out all of these countries, all of these groups that are fueling the instability, fueling the tension, fueling the genocides, fueling all of the destruction around the world. Trust me, these groups don't have that kind of money. They don't have that kind of infrastructure. I mean, think about Haiti. You think in Haiti they're making guns? They're making bullets and bombs? They're not. It's coming in from somewhere. Somebody is sending it to these gangs to fuel the violence, to ensure that whatever instability is there, it works in their interest. Somebody's doing that. They don't have that kind of resource and funding. Let's just be honest about it. Let's just be honest about it. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. I just want to make sure that you are aware, that all of you out there are aware that this is not normal and it's unacceptable. And I really don't want 2026 to be like 2025 when it comes to all the violence, all of the murder, starving children, bombed out hospitals and schools, all of these genocidal acts. They need to stop, and we need to talk about them, raise awareness, and make sure you know not only who's committing the genocides, but who's funding them, who's supporting them, and who's benefiting from them. We need to talk about all of that stuff. So we're going to get into it. I hope you stay on the channel, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. We're going to talk about more and more. Be on the lookout for these videos as they roll out. It's awful. And so stay safe, stay strong, keep fighting, and I'm going to see you in the next one.